Hey, what's up guys? Coach Jameson. In this video series, I'm going to be showing you some conventional exercises and how we can modify them to make them better translate to our most basic human function of forward locomotion. These are going to be movements where we tend to see a lot of maybe like hip thrusting, movements that are a little bit more linear, and how we can make them a little bit more rotational, give them that kind of spiral energy that we see when we watch someone sprinting or moving through space. The first one we're going to start with is a ball slam. Again, very common exercise or movement that we see in the gym, CrossFit community. I'm going to show you kind of how we can do it with two different balls. This one has a little bit more of a bounce to it. It's 14 pounds. This one's 20. Doesn't really have a rebound off the ground. So I'll show you how we use these two different balls or how I use them personally as well as with clients. Let's go ahead and start with this one that's going to have a little bit more bounce to it. And we'll start kind of more with our conventional ball slam, and I'll show you how we just modify it a little bit to make it better for safer inputs into the body. First and foremost, we always start off with strong feet and strong hips. For those of you that have watched my videos before, all that's going to be is maintaining a nice strong straight foot, so that second toe pointing straight, and maintaining our nice strong arches so we're not collapsing and loading pressure down and in, always being mindful of that strong foundation. The second thing that we're always going to be mindful of is strong hips. So those hips staying into that back chain position, not thrusting forward, where a lot of us tend to be stuck in our modern society, and then we go double down into that pattern into the gym. So we're going to be mindful of strong feet and hips. We'll start with this side view just so you can see how we load. I got my ball here. So the common thing I want to avoid that we see with the ball slam is when we come up overhead is this thrust forward into this banana posture. We're going to avoid that. So my start and end position is always going to be roughly here. And then as I slam the ball, I'm going to think of pulling those hips back even more, shins and thighs spinning open so my kneecaps point out. I'll go and do a few reps so you can see. We'll inhale as we lift, exhale, slam. You'll start nice and slow, just like this. And then once you get a rhythm, we can start picking up the pace. And then I can even start coming up onto the ball mounds of my feet, being mindful again that I'm not collapsing. So I'll go ahead and do a few in a row here. Inhale as we lift, slam. Notice my hips are driving back as I slam. Let me give you that front view so you can see that my knees are staying open as well, not collapsing in. Again, this is a very common loading and landing pattern we see amongst our Gen Pop and athletes that causes breakdown in the connective tissue and can lead to injury. So we want to avoid that input. All right, that's with the ball that bounces back. How do we go about it when we have to pick up the ball between reps? It's gonna be the same thing, same pattern, hips low back. I lift up, don't thrust the hips forward, slam. Now I'm just gonna bend over, be mindful. When I'm picking it up, I'm loading out and back. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. I don't gotta get robotic and be crazy mindful of where my posture is. It's okay if the back flexes a little bit. Again, in the real world, the body is gonna not be moving around in this very robotic kind of linear pattern. So it's okay as I go to bend down and grab the ball, there's a little bit of flexion, lift, exhale, slam. Can come up onto my toes a little bit, stay light on the heels. Again, something that we see that really translates to jogging and sprinting. We don't want to be heel striking and driving a lot of force through the heels. Now, the second variation that I like to play with adds a rotation going from side to side. So it's going to be very similar, keeping the hips back, keeping strong feet. Now I'm just going to be adding a little bit of rotation. So as I slam the ball to my left side, you're going to see my right side go to kind of this corner release pattern, and I'm going to load into my left back side. That's where most of the weight's going to be. I'm going to pick up the ball, rotate, slam to the opposite side. Again, start slow with these and then pick up the pace as you get the pattern. So I'll start slamming to my left, rotate. So I'm working, transitioning weight and pressure from one side to the other. Most of the pressure and weight is on this left column. Load, slams, lands in the right column. I pull back, load into my strong loading pattern. Again, you don't have to be perfect when picking up and grabbing the ball. A little bit of flexion in the spine is fine. Loading primarily into the back space. Inhale, exhale, slam. Pull back, load. grab, pull back into the other side. That's how it looks with my 20-pounder ball that doesn't rebound. Now let's go into one that bounces. Again, I can get into a little bit better and faster of a rhythm. So there you have it. There are a couple variations of ball slams and how we can modify the pattern to better translate into forward locomotion. Give them a shot. Let me know what you think.